credible and objective.
It's Hard Facts with Marian Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We're broadcasting live from our audiovisual studios right here in Itimi and Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. This is the nation's #1 talk news and sports radio station. We're live on Facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're also live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. Let's talk about the power situation in the country. Yes, I have teased about this all day, and my guest has just joined us. Now, before we get to my guest, you pay 30,000 naira for some people a month for power, but your freezer is empty because there's been no light for days. I mean, you've called, you've complained, but all you get is higher bills and not better service. Across Nigeria, millions of citizens live this daily reality of no power. Some never get light at all. Others pay for what they don't consume, trapped in that tyranny of estimated billing. Discos send bills that don't reflect the power supply, and in many places, the meter is still a dream. Now, states like Enugu are stepping in to slash tariffs to ease the pain, but discos are pushing back. The NERC says it can only regulate prices. Meanwhile, consumers are caught in the middle, overcharged, underserved, and overlooked. Today on the Big Hard Facts, we confront the deep cracks in Nigeria's electricity system. And the big question today is, who protects the consumer? My guest is joining us live via Zoom. I'm so glad that I have been able to bring him on the show because the last time I was supposed to bring him, he was busy, but he's joining us this evening. Olabode Sowunmi is the CEO of Cabtree Limited, and he's also an energy expert. He joins us live on Hard Facts. Mr. Sowunmi, so good to have you join us. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Lovely. I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear. If you can move back a little bit so I can see your face, because you yes, now I can see you better. Lovely. You heard my opening, obviously, and this is something that I just literally had a conversation a few minutes ago with some people in different communities across Lagos State having similar problems with power. Some haven't seen power, especially the guys in Ekpe, in months. And some people still get NEPA bill when they don't have light. So it's ridiculous. But we're here to talk about the fact that states are stepping in to deal with the situation. So I want to start by questioning the latest NERC report that shows that 46.98% of registered electricity customers were metered as of the first quarter of 2025. That means that over half of Nigerians still rely on estimated billing. Now, how has this been allowed to persist despite the multiple metering initiatives that the government has rolled out, like MAP and NMMP? Why has it continued to fester?
Okay, thank you very much. So it's good to understand how the system works. So, for example, you have somebody that goes to see the doctor or the physiotherapist and all that. In as much as it's your body, there is a need for you to know how the human body functions so that you can be able to tell the doctor or advise the doctor on what the problem can be. Now, the electricity industry, NECI as is known, is partially privatized. So the distribution arm is privatized. The transmission arm is in the arms of government. The generation arm is largely in the hands of private sector, but there are few government interests everywhere. Mm-hmm. Now, each of these three arms cannot operate independent of each other. It's like saying the head, the body, and the legs are so connected that the head cannot function without the body, and the body cannot function without the head, blah, 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 that kind of thinking. So at the core of it, at the core of everything is the fact that the generation aspects, which is largely private sector, the transmission aspects, which is largely federal government, are solely in the hands of NEC. Now, the distribution arm is where the states can regulate in this case. So the people who are in the distribution arm, so to speak, are the ones that are going to implement the metering. So if you have a case where you are giving somebody money and the person decides to steal that money, or the person decides not to use that money, or this person decides to use substandard products, it just goes to show that money alone does not necessarily solve a problem. The money is made available to solve the problem, but it is now incumbent on the distribution sector to give an account of how they use it for the metering. So what has happened basically has been the reluctance of the distribution arm, which is the discos, to do effective metering. And if you ask the people in-house or those who have left in-house, there are 1,000,001 reasons for that. But at the root of all the issues is, and what does that mean? It means that there isn't enough cash to actually run the industry. And why is that? It is simply because the cost of generation, cost of transmission, and cost of distribution is less than the amount at which electricity is sold. So if we are generating electricity at, say, 10 naira per megawatt, a generation transmission, if the total cost is like 10 naira per megawatt, the thing is being sold for like 8 naira. Now, what should happen normally is that the discos, the distribution company, they receive the cost of the electricity. They are supposed to pass, but all the money they receive does not belong to them. The money, some of it goes to generation, some of it goes to transmission. But the discos, rather than transmit 80% to everybody, they usually first take their own money. Then they will now give the others whatever is left. So as a result, what we use for generation of electricity is gas. 80% of our electricity comes from gas. The gas producers are being owed a lot of money. As of today, it's about 4 trillion naira that are being owed. And they have threatened to cut off gas supply. In issuing that threat, in making that threat, they are not able to carry it out because it can be seen as sabotage. You can imagine the whole of the nation, or 80% of Nigeria, not having lights as a result of gas not being paid. But the reason is because of that liquidity in the sector. Those are the key issues. So, yes, there could be more money available as a result of metering, but the investment in infrastructure that is supposed to happen with the discourse that will enable metering to take place is not being looked into. And there's a catch-22 to it. So it's also good to understand where the discourse are coming from.
Yeah.
They bought the discourse in dollars. They bought the licenses in dollars and at an exchange rate of about 150. Now, what was 150 is now 1,500. And they need to pay that debt. Most of that debt went to Nigerian banks who charged 35%. And because they cannot pay, they were just looking for what they can grab here and there and then move on. So that's basically a lot of the things that were. So in the disco system, in the disco community, a lot of the discos still have been taken over by banks, as you were aware, because they could not meet their obligation. So in the companies that are the discos, there's a lot of dysfunction. What has been unfortunate with Nigerians is this. Because Nigerians have been ignorant deliberately, they've been ignorant of what is happening. They are not able to put pressure in the right place for the industry to improve. Because if you ask the average Nigerian, why don't we have power? He'll say, I don't care. I just want electricity. It sounds nice, but it is ignorant. And when you're ignorant, it is little things that actually conquers you, hinders you, and hurts you.
Can we lay this whole imbroglio and the confusion within the discos to the way and manner in which we started this unbundling process, and the people who we sold to? Because again, you brought in the issue of them not being able to pay because it was done and the transaction was done in foreign currency. If we had taken the unbundling of PHCN at the time into what we now have as discos, going by the book and making sure that whoever these people were had what it took to run these discos in the long run, would we find ourselves in the situation where we are today?
Well, they say hindsight is 20/20 vision. When the thing has passed, you can always look at these and point fingers, and we can do an X-ray. We can even do a whole book saying what they should have done right, what they should have done, but it doesn't help anyone. You get what can help all of us is what is the way forward. How can we really get electricity? Yes, we can do an X-ray, and then they will get those who were responsible. It was during the Jonathan government. They'll get those who were responsible. Maybe there will be trial. There will be a lot of sensation. There will be drama. 1 or 2 people will go to jail. But how does that help anyone? How does that improve electricity? There will just be drama. So for me, and I keep saying this, and this is where knowledge is very important, is that despite all the things that have happened and could have happened and did happen, it is time for us to ask, what do we need to do to move forward? So I think that's where the question should be.
Yeah. So in moving forward, because I want this conversation to be more about the people, but I want to talk about the government coming into this. Enugu has put its foot forward as leading the states to intervene in this whole Band A, pay, what's it called? The pricing of Band A, and most people will call it a scam because some of them are on Band A, some of them don't even know how they found themselves on Band A, and still they don't have the power supply that is commensurate with the amount of monies that they're paying. With states wanting to get involved in this situation, what do you think this would change? Would it cause more problems for us? Will it cause more confusion? Or will it, one way or the other, ameliorate the sufferings of the average Nigerian? Are the states able to even address the issue in a way that we can actually take people back to Band B, people who are not supposed to be on Band A, because this is not what Adelabu promised us when he came up with the idea of bands in the first instance?
Okay, so first of all, we need to understand what is government responsibility, what is private responsibility, and what is the responsibility of the person, the man on the street himself. Everybody has a responsibility. It is not the minister or the president cannot promise what is not within his influence. In other words, you cannot promise the quality of delivery of a sister radio station because it's not outside. It doesn't matter if you are the chairman of the National Union of Journalists or not, or OAP's association. I don't know where you get it. The distribution network is private. The distribution network is private, totally. The transmission network, yes, government. The generation network is 80% private. Yes, what they can do at the end of the day is to be able to say, let us give more incentives. Let us listen. Maybe those people have told them they will meet those targets. And on the basis of that, he can make a promise. But if those people don't meet those targets, there's nothing he can also do because those are independent companies. I don't know whether you get what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. So for people saying the Adelabu promised that there will be electricity is political talk. That's if he actually did that. So, and the reason why that can be absorbed is still the same thing I said in the beginning, is ignorance. Ignorance of how the system operates. You see, Nigerians as they are today, they will listen to anybody who says nice things, no matter how impossible those nice things are. And the reason why we keep falling into all those fake promises is because of ignorance. And so there is a need, it is incumbent upon us to first understand the system so that when people will claim that two black couples will give birth to a Igbo child, at least with small knowledge of genetics, you will say something is wrong, or they give back to half caste, something. You know something is wrong somewhere. So that is the kind of things Nigerians need to weed themselves off from.
Okay.
They just need to weed themselves off from so that they can put the critical mass of pressure in the right place.
Okay. In case you're just joining us, the program is. I'm so sorry, Mr.
To go to the discourse should go to them.
All right, Mr. Sowunmi, I'm so sorry. We have to go on a quick break. Olabode Sowunmi joins us on Hard Facts as we talk about the tariff war between states and discos. What is the true situation with our power sector? Can we really surmount the problems that we have? The second half of this conversation will be about you, but let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk more. Stay with us. It's still Hard Facts.
Talk, news and sports after this.
There's only one destination to go to for your Geely vehicle service now, and that's the new representative, Charis Motors. Geely has found a new home. If you've had your Geely vehicle for 3 years or more, we would like to invite you to continue the thrill with Charis Motors. Book your service at Charis Motors to experience a more professional after-sales by certified Geely technicians. For appointment booking, call or WhatsApp 0802-772-5779. Charis Motors, value for money.
Every day when my children return from school, I don't recognize them. Hello, do I know you?
It's us, mommy.
But these dirty, sweaty uniforms and socks, we're clean in the morning. Everything don't transform. I understand though. School is hectic. It takes energy to come home this transformed. So I make sure they have some nutritious Milo at breakfast.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Football is on.
Liverpool are champions again.
When the streets erupt for screamers and last-minute winners, you know it's on. For the passion, the rivalries, the biggest football stars. Oh, it's on.
It's astonishing.
It's on everyone's lips, on every screen. It's on every week for the diehard fans and even the occasional fans. Football is on, and it's on for every reason. Only on SuperSport. Stay connected and stay with us, starting from DSTV Yanga.
Is that Alfie playing football in the rain?
It's Toby Chio.
My goodness. When did he grow up?
That's it with kids, so. It's amazing how your child grows up before your eyes. Enable their thriving development with the new NanKid 4 with HMOs to support your child's development, probiotics, and high-quality proteins to support age-appropriate growth. NanKid 4. Nourish your child's potential.
I don't know, man. These days, all you hear is save, invest, save, invest. Wait, how do you guys find this money? Is it not someone that is settled that will have money to save and invest? And even if I manage to invest or save, the interest rates are so low. And one can lose money in all these crypto, NFT, blockchain, and so on.
Introducing Fund 724. It's a simple solution to all your money goals. With as low as 1,000 Naira or that urgent 2K in your pocket, you can start saving with Fund 724 and earn solid returns on your investment. And you can withdraw your money from your account for free. Anytime you like, just dial *724# on your mobile phone and follow the prompts.
Oh, so no need to download an app or join a long queue, huh?
Dial *724# now to get started. Fund 724 is available 24/7. Guarantee Trust Fund Managers is a subsidiary of Guarantee Trust Holding Company PLC and regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission.
In the kitchen game, there are players And then Agba Ballers, MVP, Player of the Year, 10-0, no rival. Become an Agba Baller with the new improved Maggi chicken flavor, made with a flavorful formation of onions, celery, turmeric to bring out your top game in the kitchen. Elevate the taste of your everyday dishes with delicious rich chicken flavor. Oh yeah, let's go.
New Maggi chicken flavor, my game changer.
Start your day and have a good time.
Kivo Creamer.
And where you need to have the break time.
Kivo Creamer.
If not tea, Papa Garita.
Kivo Creamer. Kivo Creamer.
Little body, big moves. Little brain, big learning. Your little child is eager to do big things. Every sachet of Cerelac Junior comes with the nutrition they need: natural grains, protein, and iron to support their physical growth, learning, and development. So you can fully enjoy your little one's big moments of growth.
I'm in love. Sonia tomato mix, stand up. Is it to open? Is it to squeeze? Is it to scoop? And is it to stir?
Sonia tomato mix in a new standard pouch.
All right, class, settle down. Today, let's talk about how you started your day.
We got dressed and had pancakes with John Vance 3-in-1 chocolate for breakfast.
My mom makes John Vance 3-in-1 chocolate for us too.
My mom calls it instant goodness. My sister and I always put it inside our pap. It's so yummy.
John Vance 3-in-1 chocolate is a chocolate drink made of rich cocoa, milk, and sugar. Available nationwide in stores. John Vance 3-in-1 chocolate. Enjoy instant goodness.
A good education isn't just about what you know, but who you become. At Now University of Nigeria, Abuja, we offer over 100 undergraduate and postgraduate programs designed to shape you into a changemaker the world needs. Apply now at nowuniversity.edu.ng or 0209 623 2188. Now University of Nigeria, beyond degrees.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Hot Fact with Marianne Duke-Okon. This is Hot Fact on Nigeria Info 99.3 FM. My name is Shego Arinze.
If you're just listening, we are talking about the tariff war between discos and, of course, state governors led by Enugu State, of course, in a bid to try to deal with the tariff situation, especially with the bands, Band A most importantly. My guest is here, of course, to give us a perspective or a look into what exactly is happening in the energy sector, especially with our electricity supply, and help us to make sense of it. With all of these governors who have said, well, let's see what we can do to resolve this problem. Can they give us some sort of opportunity to heave a sigh of relief? That's obviously what the average Nigerian is, the question that the average Nigerian is asking. My guest joining me via Zoom is an energy expert. He's also the CEO of Cabtree Limited. He is Olabode Sowunmi. Before we went on that break, he was talking to us about the duties and the responsibilities of everyone, whether it be states, the governors themselves, whether it be the minister. He's already told us that the minister is he cannot be promising things that is not within his purview or within his powers to give. He's also talked about the roles of the NERC, TCN, and the discos. But the bigger question is, who's going to save us from this situation now? Because if the discos are telling us that they're indebted, they need to pay salaries, they need to do this and that, the average Nigerian is saying, we're overpaying. Some of us are using prepaid meters. We sometimes don't see power, but then they bring in a bill every other month for us to pay. who's going to midwife this situation? Can the governors do it? And that's the question I asked before we went on that break.
Well, the governors are not, in terms of what they're doing, are not significantly different from the minister in terms of what the minister promised. So, just like I said, the industry is made up of three parts. There's the general. So, the distribution aspect of it is 1/3, and maybe the cost of that maybe like 20% of the total cost. So the only thing is that the distribution is the collection arm. Now, let's put it this way. The studio, if you look at the radio station, what are the different parts that make up the bill? There's the studio. There are those who are in the technical department or engineering department. Then there are those who run administration, finance, and all that. Imagine somebody in the studio saying that there's no costs for engineering and there's no costs for those who are doing HR.
Oh my God, your connection is so bad and we can barely hear you, Mr. Sowunmi. We're going to try again. It's telling us that your bandwidth is low and the connection is gone. Let's see if we can try again and hear what you said. You were trying to say that we should imagine if the OAP tells the engineering that there's no what?
That there's no value to their work, so they are removing them from the salaries. And they tell the finance department, the legal department, that they are removing them, you understand? Because all the work is with those with the OAP. So the discos, which is where the states regulate, is just an aspect of the value chain. As it is, the value chain is operating at a loss, as it is. That is why they talk about government subsidies for it. However, the only place that is not at a loss in that value chain is the people in Band A. At the cost of which Band A operates, they can actually pay everybody else that is there. That's why the priority for the disco is Band A. Now, if a state decides to reduce the price without understanding and agreeing with those who are in transmission and those who are in generation, the question will be, who is going to suffer the reduction in cost? Is it the state that will bear it? Is it the transmission or is it the generation? Because the implication at the end is that if they actually stop paying their money, those people can stop delivering power.
Well, the thing is, the argument is, the average person hasn't even seen power. I don't know anywhere in the world where there's Band A or Band B or Band C or Band Z. Give people power. Whatever power they use, they pay. But then the fault of not metering the whole country is not the fault of the average power user, is it? Because if we all had meters and were properly metered, there would not be an excuse that I'm using more than, or if you buy a scratch card and you put power, if the power finish, you don't finish, you paid for it. But the lapse or the gaps that we have, can we be blamed for it? And why are we being made to suffer because we're in so-called Band A to pay for some people who are not actually, supposed to pay that much money? For example, if I have 24 hours power supply and I'm buying the scratch card for 24 hours, it means I'm paying for the power that I'm using. But if I do not have a meter and you give me power for 5 hours, but then you bill me for 20 hours, I'm the one who's running at a loss. Can you hear me, sir? Or have we lost your connection again? Are you there, Mr. Sowunmi? Can you hear me?
Those arguments are nice. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, you're back. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Yes, I'm here. I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you. So, like I said, those arguments are nice. They sound interesting. There is some issues to it. Like I said at the beginning, Yes, the average Nigerian just wants power. But the issue is complicated. So they must, and I use that word, they must understand what is going on. They cannot throw away all the problems and avoid critical thinking and just say, we want power. All they will be doing is becoming victims to politicians and greedy capitalists. So there are reasons the industry works why metering did not take place. At the time that metering did not take place, there were no cries from Nigerians. There was no concern. I mean, people are aware that billions were given by government to private companies to ensure there were meters.
Mm-hmm.
When those people did not put the meters, there was no hue and cry. It doesn't matter as long as I have electricity. Now, those are things that you don't feel the effect overnight. But now that there is no meters, everybody wants the effect or the change to also be overnight. It doesn't work that way. So first, this same thing we are talking about now, if they don't resolve it properly and they give it
Oh dear. I'm so sorry, Mr. Sowunmi. Your connection is poor, but I'm hearing you in bits. You obviously said that if we don't resolve it properly, I didn't get the last bit. Unfortunately, your connection is gone again. But we're going to throw the phone lines open. Hopefully, we can get Mr. Sowunmi's connection back and working. It's gone, and we can barely hear anything that he's saying. Hopefully, he gets back with us because the phone lines are open. You have questions, you got comments, you want to understand clearly what's happening in the sector. My guest has tried his best to explain to us what the situation is, why we must understand the situation in order for us to be able to get power. I mean, hopefully, better power. But the discos are saying they're indebted and these monies have to be paid. If not, we cannot have power altogether. And the state's duty, whether it is to midwife or not, they're politicians, he continues to say, and may not necessarily be able to do anything serious to help us with this band problem. But join the conversation 0201 277 0993 if you are male. For the female, 0201 465 7190. 60 seconds. Do not go further. Think of the question you want to ask, and then, of course, ask it. Go straight to the point. Hopefully, we'll get my guest to join us again so that he can be able to answer questions. We lost his connection completely. He will try and join us again so he can answer your questions. We're live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. My guest is Olabode Sowunmi. He is the CEO of Cabtree Limited, and he's also an energy expert, an insider helping us to make sense of what's happening with the power situation. 0201 277 0993, 0201 465 7190. On WhatsApp, it's 0809 5975 805. That's the number for you to send your messages. If you're listening from outside of the country, you want to join the conversation, join us by calling 0809 5975 805. Hopefully we can get my guest to join us again. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, good evening, Miriam.
Yes.
My name is Olufemi.
Go ahead.
Thank you for this topic this evening.
Mm-hmm.
My major concern about these people is that the aspect of estimation is what I can never understand in my life. This has started for a long time, and I keep on wondering, why should you sit down in your office and estimate what somebody could have consumed during the month? And most of the time you discover that there is no light, but at the end of the day, they still go on to estimate and make you to pay. If you don't pay, they cut you off. So I want an explanation on this particular aspect of it, Miriam. It shouldn't continue.
Okay.
You said the other time that they should, what you expect them to do is that the moment you buy electricity, the amount you consume or you consume depends on you.
Mm-hmm.
When it is finished, then you buy. If you don't buy, then you remain in the dark. That is all.
Thank you very much for calling. 60 seconds is all you have. You have to go straight to the point. But I thank you. You're asking about estimated billing, and if we can deal with it so that it stops. Hopefully my guest can join us to answer those questions. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Hi, Miriam.
Yes.
I listened with rapt attention to the conversation between you and your guest. I feel that one would expect that with this clash of the bands, since the inception of Minister Adelabu, if you have someone who gave you a product, and the way he gave you the product is a default setting, or the thing is not working well, he should be held accountable. But your guest is saying no, it's not him. So are you saying in all of this negativity of the discourse of band A, band B, band C, and band D, and band E, and the reggae that they are playing, nobody should be held accountable? I really want him to come back and explain the intricacies of this discussion to me once again. Thank you very much, Marianne.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Bully, for calling. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Miriam, how are you doing?
I'm good. Go ahead. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jonathan is my name. Miriam, the truth of the matter is this. You know, manufacturers, serious people, they have left this country behind. People that can pay. A serious manufacturer now will never put his power on the grid. They have all gone to source for their own power individually. And that's why you see whether you call them Genco or distributor, blah, blah, blah. They are now forming band A, band B, band C. Because people have gone ahead of them. They can't depend. You can't be in manufacturing. A serious manufacturer will never put his power in the hands of these people because you will lose. So a lot has to be up. If they give people confidence, then people will get on them. That's why you see that your guys were saying, if this one cannot pay, they will now be looking for who they will put it on. That's the way we are living our life here.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. So, Mr. Sowunmi, thank you so much for joining us again. Apologies, this connection issues happen every now and again. My first caller called to ask a question about, the estimated billing and, the fact that it has gone on for so long. He's not certain if you're sounding optimistic that this can stop in the nearest future, if there is any solution to it. So another caller also called to try to understand, to make sense of the situation. Can it be solved in the interim? So over to you, sir.
Okay. So one of the things with us Nigerians is that we think that the only way to address issues is to go on social media and make noise. So people don't understand how to engage a system to make it productive. One of the institutions and instruments for correcting and enforcing government or large institutional reforms or change is things like National Assembly. So there is a committee on power in the National Assembly. And every place in Nigeria is represented by somebody who at the maximum oversees like 2-3 local governments. There is nothing stopping anybody, even the first caller, from finding out who is his representative in the National Assembly, doing a petition to him and asking them that the National Assembly look into the matter of why a particular region has spent so long on estimated billing. The National Assembly has the powers to summon the discos, the minister, the transmission company, and on the basis of that petition, ask those people that why have they still on estimated billing, and also give them an ultimatum. But rather than pursuing avenues that will bring out results, people prefer to go on Facebook and Twitter and start abusing everyone. So when I was a child, I thought as a child and acted as a child. When I became a man, you have to start thinking like a man. So that's one of the things. The truth of the matter is that because of the inefficiencies in the system and the corruption across board, you are not going to solve the issue of estimated billing, no matter how much determination somebody puts there in the next 2, 3, or 5 years. You still need to change the orientation of the workers that are involved. There are so many things that need to change. But I and my community can pursue a channel that will ensure that we are not part of the Holocaust or the damage that is taking place. And there are many avenues of governance that they can use to achieve that. So that's why I give that example. That's it. Look, as a person, find out who is your representative. It can even be your senator, who will speak to the senator that is overseeing the power sector. And they can summon these people, they can give them deadlines so that your particular community can be singled out of everyone and it can be resolved. So it is not like there is anything that is impossible. It is just about going about it the way that will bring results.
Okay.
That's at the root of that.
Let's take some more calls. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts. Turn off your radio, please.
Yeah. Good evening, Miriam.
Yes, good evening. Go ahead.
Yeah. I am Pastor Fanny, speaking from Aguara. You see this electricity issue, the root cause of the problem we have in this country is corruption. You can't tell me that the nation as big as Nigeria cannot settle this electricity issue. With all our mineral and material resources, even human resources, we have the best hands in this country. When we talk of the whole world, it's just corruption. I remember the time of Obasanjo, when they had an issue with one governor from Cross River State. They talked about billions or 12 billions or so naira. That thing died a natural death. Nobody talked about it again. During the time of Jonathan, we were having relative steady light. When it was not as good as it used to be. When Mohamed Buhari came, they talked about his body language. They gave us light for 2 to 5 days, no interruption. When they discovered that the man was a lame dog, they just took it away and it became worse.
Okay, your 60 seconds is over.
It's nothing. It's only corruption. That is the only thing. If we deal discussion of corruption, it will be over.
Thank you very much for calling. Deal with corruption and it will be over. Well, let's take another call. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts. Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello, good morning. Good evening, Mariam.
Good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Collins. I'm calling from Ibejuleki.
Go ahead, quickly.
Yeah, your guest is talking as if he's not in Nigeria. We've been having this power issue for a long time. And he's telling me or telling all that for me to, voice out my anger, I have to go through my representative, probably in the House of Reps or Senate. That's the only way. I will now go and write a petition to them before the issue will be addressed. So is he saying that those people in authority in the power sector, so they don't know that Nigerians have been shouting about estimated billing and lack of whatever you call it? Is that what he's saying? Look at the way he's saying that people are going to the social media to shout. Probably he's part of the government. That's why he's defending them. Please let him address this issue very well.
Okay, but I mean, why do you have representatives? And I'm not holding brief for my guests. Why do you have proper channels? I mean, I say this all the time on Community Report, but maybe because I am who I am. But they're saying that you do not act like you are in Nigeria, Mr. Sowunmi. Maybe you are in America. Maybe you are in England. You are enjoying yourself and you do not understand the problems of Nigerians. Hence, you are saying that they should write a petition and go to their spokespersons or legislators or, they're saying that you're not necessarily understanding where they're coming from. Do you agree?
People who are ignorant want to speak to only people that are like themselves. So misery loves company. So they want to gather people and have a pity party. Those people that are saying that way, if you ask them what is the way forward? They don't have. But they will say every way forward is not possible. So let's look at the system. People get wronged in Nigeria. I mean, people do things that are wrong by those who are more powerful. You tell them to go to court. They'll say, the court will not work.
We have 60 seconds.
But people forget that it's still in this same country that courts removed a sitting governor from power. So the courts can work. What I'm saying is that the system has ways to correct it. Those channels can work. You cannot say the thing is impossible when you have not tried it. Mm-hmm. So saying that I'm not in this country, I was born here, I've lived here all my life. So I mean, saying that I'm not in this country is the excuse that failures need to give themselves to justify why they are in the position that they are. There are ways that, for example, if you want to
I do not have time. I do not have time anymore. I have just 30 seconds. But my listeners would take exceptions to the fact that you think that they're failures. Of course, everyone's listening because they want to hear how they can surmount their problems. So you're saying that the way forward is to grab the people who say they are leading us or representing us to fight our battles.
That's one way. That's one channel to solve your problem.
Okay.
But your listeners who out of nowhere said that I'm not in this country and I don't know what is happening should not also have said that. Because they could just have made their point without
I absolutely understand. But because I'm out of time, I want to thank you so much. Mr. Olabode Sowunmi is the CEO Cabtree Limited and is an energy expert. He's been talking to us about the power situation in the country. Hopefully I can bring you back sometime soon for on the show. Thank you so much, sir, for coming.
You're welcome.
All right, Lagos, that's the show. Thank you for listening.
And that's the new representative, Charis Motors. Geely has found a new home. If you've had your Geely vehicle for 3 years or more, we would like to invite you to continue the thrill with Charis.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates